welcome to Power Yoga, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share this practice with each and every one of you today. Glad we can share this space and share our practice today. Okay, so go ahead. I've got playlist number 28 today is the one that's on the docket, so if you want to, go ahead and get that started. And we're going to start basically just by laying down on our mats, all of us together, because we're going to start with just some movement on the mat right from the beginning. Let me just get that iPad out of the way so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, all right. So I'm going to just come onto my mat, and as we lay down on our mats, just initially find a space of comfort. Just make sure that you're creating a space, an environment that is comfortable for you. Okay, nothing special just yet, but we're going to get started in just a moment as we allow ourselves to settle in and to carve out our space and our practice for today. All right, so we'll begin by just taking our hands, reaching overhead, reaching as far as you can, and then pointing those toes as far as you can, so that the fingertips and the toes are reaching in opposite directions. Now, if you want, maybe lifting those hands off the ground a little bit, thumbs facing down towards the ground, and lift those heels up, and just lengthen your body, just like you're getting out of bed and giving that first big stretch of the day. Good. And now keep holding there. If you need to set the heels down and the hands down, that's fine. And now let's bring the hands and the feet over to the right side. So making just a little banana shape with our body, just a little arc to the side to get a little stretch into the left side of our body and into those hips. Okay, hands and feet can be up or down. And then same thing on the other side. Bring the hands and feet over to the left side and just make your body into that banana shape, facing the left side and stretching into the right side of our body, into the hips. Good. Let's come right back to center and release everything to the ground. Everything to the ground. Maybe one last stretch. And then let's connect this with our breathing. Inhale and fill those lungs as much as you can. Breathe in and feel that space in your ribs. Then just let the air out forcefully. And again, inhale. Reach and extend. Reach. Hands and feet on the ground. Fill those lungs as much as you can. Exhale out of the mouth, that Ujjayi breath or breath of victory. One more time. Inhale and fill those lungs. Reach as far as you can. Again, thumbs down and heels down to the ground. Extend your body. And then exhale forcefully. Good. Let's bring those hands beside our hips and our knees bent. And we can have our feet and knees about hip distance apart. And let's start just rocking those knees into windshield wipers side to side. Windshield wipers side to side. Begin to loosen up through our hips and our lower back. And as you drop the knees down one side to the other, you'll notice one hip lifts as one hip grounds in deeper. And that hip that's lifting is getting a little bit deeper stretch. You might feel that just across the top side of your body, right off the tip of your hip bone. And then we'll come to stillness with those legs and bring those knees together, the inside part of your quads or thighs together, and then the feet out to the edges of the mats like you're pigeon-toed, and resume that windshield wiper. Good. So as resuming that windshield wiper, just allowing that hip, that back hip to lift a little bit higher, allowing that grounded hip to just sink in a little bit lower. Excellent. Give me two more on each side, and then we're just going to hold. We're going to hold that position. So next time both knees are to the right, hold both knees that way and lift that left hip just a little bit higher. Feel the stretch across the top of your quad, in through the hips, and into the side of our bellies. Good. Breathe through this. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Same thing, other side. Let's bring those knees now to the left side. And now we're lifting that right hip just a little bit higher, even pushing off our feet a little bit so we can feel that stretch across our right quad into the tip of our hip bone and through our external obliques, the side of our belly. Good, keep pressing in to those feet. All right. Let's come back to center now. Feet and knees about hip distance apart. If you have a block here, go ahead and put it right between your knees. And if not, bring the feet and knees together and press the feet and knees together. Okay? Otherwise, those feet and knees stay in alignment if that block's in between. Hands still to the side. We're going to press through the block or press those knees together to do some bridge lifts. So let's press and inhale our hips up, squeeze between those knees and exhale and release down. And let's do that several more times. Just keep flowing through this. Inhale as you drive your hips up, exhale, releasing down, connecting movement and breath. Inhale as we rise up to the sky and exhale coming on down. Trying to notice that space in our lower back as we drive those hips up, trying to maintain our feet completely on the floor as we drive our hips up. There's a way to get a little bit more hamstrings if you want. That's just to tip your toes up and drive through your heels. Okay, so if you want that, that's okay. All right. Give me 2 more right here in a little dynamic movement, and then we're going to hold that bridge at the top. Go ahead and just hold. All right. Into that lower back. Starting to warm up those lower back muscles. Starting to get them used to moving this morning, used to moving. Okay, exhale, release on down. Keep that block right there or those knees pressing toward each other. Just so we can show we can do that, I'm not going to use the block. I'm just going to press the knees, but if you have the block, it'll feel just a little bit more engaging, I think. Okay, so I'm pressing my knees together. My toes are tipped up now. My heels are on the ground, hands to the side. I'm going to lift my heels up off the ground 1 to 2 inches. Just lightly lift and set them down. And what we're trying to feel for is first notice the arch of your back as the heels are on the ground. And then notice the arch of the back press into the ground as you lift those heels up 1 to 2 inches. Just really small. You can see how small I'm moving. And as soon as you feel the small of your back press in, you've gone far enough. You've gone far enough. If you want to add just a little bit extra here, use the breath. So on the lift of the heels, exhale and squeeze through the core. This is totally a deep core exercise. Whew. All right. Give me 3 more right here, and then we'll hold. 3. Good, and 2, keep squeezing, and then 1 last time. Set those heels down and just allow yourself to get a little bit of some relief from here. Awesome. Good, let's keep going, hands to the sides now. And we're gonna bring our feet and knees up to tabletop. Go ahead and keep them together. Tabletop means the knees are hovering right above the hips, okay? And we're going to do something called belly twist. We're just going to rock side to side. So it's windshield wipers with our heels or feet up into the sky, knees hovering above our ankles. Okay, now if this bothers your lower back for whatever reason it might, okay, just set the heels down and go back to windshield wipers, keeping those feet and knees together. Okay, it's a little bit of belly twist. This is also some core activation work. That's what we're doing here. That's right. Okay. Lots of core getting going. We got a little bit more to do. Let's go ahead and 1 more time each side. And the next time we twist and both knees point to the right, go ahead and let the legs fall all the way down to the ground. Down to the ground, stacking the hips perpendicular, both knees stacked, and even the shoulders stacked. And then bring those hands together into prayer. So we're laying on our right side, right hand underneath and hands to prayer, just pointing straight ahead. And then with our hands, we're just going to take our left hand, we're going to open up, point to the sky, and then point to the left side or behind us, and right back to those prayer hands. Inhale. As we open up and lift our heart to the sky, exhale, and come right back to those prayer hands. Good, just a little rotation, a little twist, some dynamic movement. And we're just trying to keep those hips stacked perpendicular. If you're able, trying to tap those shoulder blades down to the ground as we open up our heart. Excellent. And give me 2 more. 2 more right here. Inhales and exhales, hand back together. One last time. Open and close. Good, great way to get that back going. Let's come back to tabletop, a little bit of windshield wiping with those legs. Back to that belly twist. Good, and just not as long as the first time, but the next time those knees come to the left side now, go ahead and set those knees onto the ground, stack those hips one on top of the other, perpendicular to the ground, and then bring those hands to prayer. I'm going to turn so I'm not facing away from you here. Okay, and then just inhale. Good, from those prayer hands, open up that right hand behind you now, and then right back to those prayer hands. So you're on your left side, left arms underneath, and we open up again, just trying to tap those shoulders, keeping those hips stacked one atop the other. Whew, all right. Good, give me a couple more, just like this. All right, one last time. Good, nice stretch right there. All right, so let's come on to our backs yet again. I'm gonna just flip over to the other side. Okay, so still on our backs, go ahead and bend our knees. So laying straight on down to our backs. With our right foot only, float that right leg up to the sky, or that right foot. So a nice long right leg, left leg stays bent, still on the ground. And point those right toes toward those shins, a little dorsiflexion, just to lengthen and already feel a little bit of stretch through our hamstrings. And then with this right leg, we're going to take a big swooping circle straight out to the right side, and then sweep it all the way in front of us and right back up to the top. Okay, a little external rotation. So just bring it out to the side, stretching the inside parts of those legs, the adductor and into the groin area, and then sweep it all the way through. Nice long leg. Now if this bothers you, you can also bend the knee and just circle that and just shorten that lever, if you will, a little bit, and that will make it a little bit more consumable. Okay? Or you can just grab onto the knee and help guide it. Okay? So let's do that 2 more times. Right leg. Great, great move here to get those hips working and woken up. Good. Right leg down, left heel up toward the sky. Excellent. Same thing this time. Remember the toes toward the shins. Get that nice hamstring stretch going. Bring it straight out to the left side and then sweep it all the way through to the front and back up again. Whew, and every time I hit my left hip, I got a little snap, crackle, and pop going on in there. So it always feels good to get that hip working and moving. Kind of just lets me know it's still there. Little noise going on. Excellent. Let's do 3 more big circles right here. All right. 2 more. And last one, big circle. Awesome. Bring those feet back on the ground. Just lengthen those legs out now. We're going to bring our arms, palms up toward the sky, T-arms, little twisted scissors. We're going to begin just reaching opposite hand, opposite foot. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Either floating the feet as we scissor the feet, or set the heels down. Picking the shoulder up for the arm that we're reaching up with. Keeping our chin off our chest and keeping our oxygen flowing. Good. Reach and lift. Awesome. And then when you're comfortable, maybe add a little pace. Good. Let's keep going. Give me 5 more. And 4 more. That's right, I'm counting right and left. And 3 more. And 2. And I suppose that ought to do it. Bring those feet down to the ground, hands still into T-arms. Take a breather right there for just a moment. Palms still facing up to the sky right here. Keep those back of the hands on to the ground and begin pressing the back of the hands in, trying to lift your shoulder blades or squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your shoulders and head off the ground. Head and shoulders off the ground. Again, squeezing those shoulder blades through those elbows and then eventually onto the back of your hands. Now your feet can stay on the ground or you can lift those feet up. I call this the iron cross, the laying down iron cross. Okay, I don't think it's a yoga move at all, but it's a great core move, a strength move. And we're going to hold for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and done. Awesome. Very nice. Good. So we're going to come over the top and we're going to lay on our bellies now. Lay on our bellies just on the length of our mats. So let's go ahead and lay all the way down. Awesome job right there. Good. And we'll start with Cobra Pose. So we'll bring those hands right beneath our shoulders. And let's just think about those arms a little bit. Tucking those elbows back onto our ribs as if we're trying to squeeze those elbows toward each other. And already, without even lifting, squeezing those shoulder blades toward each other in the middle of our back. Then, with strong hands, we just lightly peel our chest and our shoulders up off the mat. Okay, our bellies and belly buttons right there. Pelvis stays right there. Engaging into our lower back. Good, and breathing. Nice neutral spine looking down. Squeeze those elbows together. And then exhale and release. Keeping those hands right there, but lifting the hands up and using the back to lift the hands up in this next cobra. So inhale and lift, hands now floating off the mats. Again, nice neutral spine as we breathe through this. Good, engage that lower back and breathe. Easier said than done, right? Sure is. Let's go ahead and exhale, set down. We get those hands right there by our shoulders. And we're going to come back to child's pose. So just press back through our knees to child's pose. And from child's pose, we're going to rock forward to a kneeling plank and then a kneeling push-up or cobra. Okay, and then right back to child's pose. Good. Kneeling push-up and back to child's. Excellent. Give me 4 more. Just like that. Thinking about those elbows yet again, squeezing toward each other. Just rubbing those ribs on the way down. That gives you that resistance. Yeah, a couple more. And last one. Awesome. And now, let's just launch ourselves forward a little bit from off our knees and find plank position. Fingertips digging in, strong hands, strong feet, curl those toes and drive those heels back. Nice long body. And then without moving our hands or feet, bring our ears between our arms, hips up toward the sky, downward facing dog. All right. It's our first downward dog. So from here, begin just pedaling those feet, stretching those calves and heels and arches, lifting those hips just a little bit higher, just make sure it feels right for you. And then those ears between the arms, trying to feel that stretch between those shoulder blades. A lot of work's going to happen right here. So as we come to stillness, we're going to inhale, lift our heels up nice and tall. Exhale, bend our knees, crouch down. Inhale, lift our hips, and then exhale, set the heels down. Do that 4 more times. Lift those heels, bend those knees, lift those hips, and set those heels. Again, heels and knees. Hips and heels. Good. Just getting those knees warmed up, getting our core continuing to work in this fashion. All right. Let's do that one more time. Heels, knees, hips, and heels. Now this time, staying right in downward dog, we're going to lift our heels up, and then we're going to float forward, shoulders come in front of the fingertips, find plank position. Good. And then press back, downward facing dog, heels still high, and then exhale, set those heels down. Okay, same thing. Inhale, heels up, and rock forward. Exhale, press back to downward dog, and set those heels down. 2 more just like that. Inhale, heels up, rocking forward. Good. Exhale, press back to downward dog, and down with those heels. One last time, heels up, rock forward, press back, and heels down. Now with that same motion, Heels up, rock forward, right knee to right elbow now. Bring it forward, then press back and down dog. Same thing other side. Heels are up, rock forward, left elbow, left knee, and then press back, set the heels down. Let's do that 2 more times each side. Right knee, right elbow, heels down as we press back to down dog, and then heels up, rock forward, left knee to left elbow. 1 more time each side, nice and slow as we go. Perfect. 1 last time. At least when my counting, you count your own. When we find downward dog, find a little stillness, and then inhale, step forward towards the front of our mat. Little bend in those knees, exhale and sweep up, nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. Good, let's all meet in the front of our mats. All right, I'm starting to get a little hockey jersey there. It's starting to climb over my head and get in my face as I was trying to talk. Okay, feet and knees together, hands right here in prayer. Let's interlock our fingers, hands except for our index fingers, and reach up and reach as high as we can. Steeple fingers in mountain pose. And focus on those biceps next to our ears. That shoulder mobility. Maybe just a little bit of a rock back or a lean back. I'm going to turn to the side. Lengthen through those shoulders and lift. Point those fingers as high as you can get them to go. Feet completely grounded on the floor. Feel from the toes to the heels. And then fill those lungs with air, and on our exhale, we're going to just rock over to the right side, side bend. Keep those steeple fingers right there. Okay. I better step back a little bit off camera. Yeah. And then inhale back to the center and exhale to the left, other side. Point those fingers, just opening up our right side. Good. All right, inhale back to center. Just freely flow through this now. Inhale to the center and exhale to a side. And then go at the pace of your breath. Inhale and exhale. Keep those shoulders, or those biceps right there next to your ears as we rock side to side. Good. Just allow that breath to guide your pace. Allow that breath to guide your pace. Inhale, center, exhale, sink in. One more time to the right and one more time to the left. Awesome. Good. And as we come back to center right here, take a nice big inhale, reach as tall as you can. Keep those steeple fingers long, spine from our crown of our head to our tailbone. Let's fold down. Let's fold down. Exhale. Come on down. Exhale. Keep those steeple fingers. Good. And bring everything down. When we get down, you're going to just release those hands and find a forward fold that works for you. Either fingertips on the ground or on the legs, or use that block to lift the floor just a little bit higher. Good. All right. Settle into this forward fold for just a moment. Creating a little bit of stillness in our practice right here. Allowing those shoulders to just relax and our face to relax in space between our teeth as we relax our jaw. Perfect. Next time we take an inhale, let's drape those hands across, those shins resting below our knees. Nice long spine, crown of our head to our tailbone. Just imagine you're sitting on a back wall. Feel that dynamic stretch up the back side through your hamstrings and glutes and your hips. Take a nice big inhale, and your exhale, set those hands down and step back to plank position. Good. From plank, we'll rock forward and then make a choice. Stay on your toes or come down to your knees for a half push-up. And then inhale and either look up for cobra, stand on our knees, or come on the shoelace side of our feet for upward facing dog. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. On the inhale, look forward and step forward. Maybe come onto those toes and lift those heels and give you a little clearance. Exhale to those knees and inhale, sweep, nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. Let's add pace to our sun A. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale up, flat back, and exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Inhale, rock forward, and exhale, come on down. Inhale, look up, either cobra or upward dog, your choice. Exhale, and press back to downward dog. On the inhale, step or hop forward, sink into those legs. Exhale, and inhale, sweep up nice and tall to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, step it on back. Remember, you can always go right from plank to downward dog here, or inhale, rock forward. Exhale, then half push up. Inhale, look up, and exhale, face back down. Inhale, bend those knees, step or hop forward. Exhale, and sweep up nice and tall. Exhaling to heart center. Let's do 3 more times as we inhale, reach up, and exhale, and fold. Inhaling up to flat back, and exhale, step back to plank. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, that little half push up. Inhale, bring that crown nice and high. Exhale, tailbones to the sky. Inhale, step or hop forward, sink into those legs. Exhale, and sweep up nice and tall, right back to heart center. Good. Reach for it, and exhale, and fold. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, come on back to plank. Good. Rock and roll forward, protecting those shoulders. Exhale, come down, and inhale, lift up, and then press back to downward dog. Inhale, step or hop forward, and exhale, sink in those legs. Sweep up nice and tall, and exhale to heart center. One more time, inhale all the way up, and exhale, fold down. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, press it on back. Let's rock forward, and then come down into that half push-up or Chaturanga Dandasana. As we go through that vinyasa flow, we'll be back in down dog, and let's hang out in down dog for just a moment. Just a moment, stay right there. Good. Nice deep breath right here. Catch that breath, resync that breath, and now walk those feet towards those hands or hop those feet towards those hands. Exhale into those legs. Inhale, chair pose, chair pose. Good. And so from chair pose, I'm facing you. Feet and knees can be together. Arms forward, thumbs up toward the sky. Hands can also be at heart center. We can also separate those legs. Okay? So you find the depth, and then play around with the depth in chair pose. Okay? Sinking into the heels even though the whole foot is still on the ground. Awesome. Let's add a little twist here. We're going to bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. So as we rotate and exhale, press those hands together in prayer hands. Make sure we have strength in those hands. And as we're pushing through those hands, and that elbow is pushing to the outside of that right leg. Can also reduce the range of motion if you want something a little bit more gentle. Breathe through this and use that breath to help you cope with what you might be feeling on your legs right now. As we exhale back to a center, take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, right elbow to the outside of that left, and twist. Good. All right. Few more breaths right here. That ought to do the trick. Come right back to center. Exhale, forward fold, lengthen those legs. Inhale, up to flat back. And exhale, hands down, step back to plank position. Let's go through a vinyasa flow as we rock forward. Exhale, come down. Inhale, look up, and exhale. Face back down, downward dog. From downward dog, stay right here. We're going to take that right foot and float it up nice and high into the sky. And just like those knee pulls earlier, think about that left foot lifting up on the toes to give you clearance, drawing that right knee towards our right elbow, rounding our spine, engaging our core, and then inhale and float that heel back up to the sky. Do that 2 more times, nice and slow. Exhale, round the spine, up onto those toes. Inhale, float that heel back up. 1 more time with that knee pull. Nice and slow and controlled. Inhale up and then exhale, bring that foot through, set it between our hands, gluing that left foot on the ground, and find warrior 1. Whew. All right, that was a mouthful right there. I'll move my mat back just a little bit. So warrior 1, I'm gonna face you. I'm gonna face you. Both feet on the ground, front knee right towards our toes, but mostly our pinky toes, so we can look down and see our big toe and second toe. That back foot's grounded as well. Heel to toe, but pointing off to the left side. Shoulders roll down and away from our ears. Okay, a lot of times we get really stuck up in right here and cinch up those shoulders. No need, because there's no purpose for them right here, except a little ornamentation. All right. Staying with that breath, nice big inhale. And then on our next exhale, frame up that front foot, step back to plank position. Let's go through a vinyasa flow and meet back in downward facing dog. Good. From downward facing dog, we're going to float that left heel up toward the sky. And then think about that right foot coming onto the toes of that right foot, lifting that heel as we exhale and draw that left knee towards our left elbow. Inhale that left heel back up to the sky, set that right heel down. Again, 2 more knee pulls. Exhale, come forward onto those right toes, round that spine. Inhale that left heel up. 1 more time. Exhale, bring it forward into that plank position. Inhale, lift that heel back, ears between the arms, and then bring that left foot through, and then glue that right foot down. Find warrior 1, left foot forward. Good, I'm gonna face back to you. Excellent. There we are. Familiar territory, left knee towards those toes, hips slightly coming forward, shoulders squared up, and then relaxed away from our ears. And breathing. Giving ourselves that space, that stillness in our practice today. Awesome. Let's expand on our Sun B flows. Take a nice inhale, and then our exhale, frame up that front foot, step back to plank position, vinyasa flow. Let's meet back in downward facing dog. Good. From downward dog, float that right foot nice and high, 3-legged dog, and go ahead and bring it through. Let's find warrior 1 yet again. All right. From warrior 1, I'm just going to stay to the side here. You'll give you a better angle to see where we're heading. Awesome. So I always like to make the adjustments on our exhales. So take an inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to open up to warrior 2. Warrior 2. Front knee and toes didn't move at all. Back foot just comes out slightly, perpendicular to that front foot. And then think about our posture, ears over shoulders, over hips. Just trying to avoid leaning forward or back. Keep an even weight on both feet. And so we have that good, nice, tall posture. Notice my block way over there, and I want it right over there. Okay, so I'm going to grab it real quick. Okay, all right. There we go, right angle pose. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, right forearm to the top of the leg, back hand to the hip, or up toward the sky. Okay, if you want a little bit deeper right angle pose, just bring that hand to the instep of that right leg, block that elbow in, push that arm into that right leg, and then reach. Awesome. Good. If you want, a little bit to overhead, extend that right angle and get that space created on top. All right. Very nice here, very nice. From a nice big inhale now, our next inhale, we're going to float all the way back to reverse warrior. Keeping those legs nice and strong and right where they're at. The only thing that moved was our upper body to get there. Right hand up to the sky, back hand resting on the leg, or behind our waist on our tailbone, or almost like a belt behind our waist. Okay, reach it nice and high, right fingertips, and try and just notice that stretch in that space from our fingertips to the front side of our body. All right. Keeping that hand right there. Don't move at all except for lengthening that front leg. Lengthen with still a soft bend in that knee, triangle shape with the legs, and now let's go to triangle pose. Bring those arms to warrior 2, inhale, and then exhale, reach as far as you can go forward as the hips go to the back of the room. Good, and then tip over when you can go no further. Tip over to stack those shoulders one atop the other. Okay, either resting that right hand above or below the knee on the leg, you can use a block, and then just focus on stacking through the shoulders, stacking through the ribs, a little deep stretch on the inside of that leg there, and a stretch up top through our ribs and down to our hips. All right, good stuff. One more breath right here. Good. On our next exhale, we'll find warrior two. Find warrior two. And we're going to keep that right hand right there. Bring that left hand overhead, bicep to our ear, and just reach both hands forward. Front knee still bent. Good. Reach both hands forward, pointing both hands forward, and keeping that length across the top side of our body. Now lengthen that bottom leg. Lengthen that bottom leg, still soft bend in that knee. Good, that triangle shape with the legs. Squeeze those abs a little bit. Use that core strength. Excellent. Let's exhale back to warrior two, and then cartwheel those arms around and down. Step back to plank, and let's do another vinyasa flow. Okay, let's do it. All right. Another vinyasa flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. All right, from downward dog, take that left heel, float it nice and high up into the sky, and then bring it through warrior one. All right. Good. You can now stay right here, facing to the side. Give you a better angle in which to see. Gonna make again our adjustment on the exhale. So take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, open up warrior two. Front foot and knee don't move at all. Back foot slides out a little bit perpendicular to that front foot. Okay. All right. Good, nice strong warrior two. Again, that posture, and then just playing with that front knee, so the knee's hovering above the ankle, and we feel like we're getting the depth that we're looking for, okay? Move towards right angle pose. Little exhales, we'll bring that left forearm to the top of the leg, back hand to the hip, or up towards the sky. Again, if we want a little bit deeper on that block, or down to the ground, or you can even just let that hand float and use that core a little bit more to stabilize us. Okay. All right. Breathing through this, making sure that breath is still free flowing. That breath is our guide that lets us know we're in the spots that are designed for us today. On our next big inhale, we're going to float all the way back to reverse warrior. Legs didn't move at all. It was just a rock back and forth with the upper body. So left hand reaching nice and high, creating that space from our fingertips through our ribs. Good deep bend in that left knee. And now we're going to straighten that leg, keep the left hand right there, straighten that leg, find triangle pose. Good, so let's reach arms out to warrior two. Exhale, reach as far as you can do, and then tip over. Okay. Good, trying to keep that alignment, trying to keep the focus on that alignment so that our heart's just lifting a little bit more up toward the sky versus facing the ground. So there's a little light illuminated right there at your sternum. It should be facing straight ahead or even slightly up a little bit and not towards the floor. Good. All right. One more breath right here. And then on our next exhale, let's find warrior two. Warrior two. Good. Sinking into that, keep that left hand right where it's at, pointing it forward. And then take that right hand overhead, bicep to our ear. Reach both hands forward. Reach, reach, squeeze those abs. Whew. All right. So right angle legs right here. Let's go ahead and lengthen that front leg, the triangle legs, and keep reaching forward. Keep reaching forward. We got it. All right. Little exhale back to warrior two. And let's cartwheel those arms around and down. Vinyasa flow. Here we go. All right. I'm going to switch sides and do that. Good, a little rock forward, exhale, come on down that half push-up, inhale, cobra or upward dog, and exhale, back and down dog. Whew. Okay, right foot floats up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through, warrior one, yet again. So gluing that back foot down. All right. So from warrior one, we're going to lengthen that front leg, keep that back foot right where it's at. What that'll allow us to do is square up our hips and shoulders, wide leg pyramid or a hamstring stretch. So breathe in nice and tall, long spine, crown of our head to our tailbone. Just walk down that right leg if you will. Okay, use that block to support the hands or find the ground. All right. And then when you found your stretch, then allow the crown of your head to fall and round through your spine. Both feet still on the ground here. All right. Good breath work. And we'll take 2 more breaths right here. 2 more breaths. Okay. All right. We're going to move towards triangle pose from here. So that back foot is at an angle. We're going to want to make that back foot perpendicular to the front. And as we do that, we're going to begin squaring up our hips and shoulders to the left side, opening up our hearts and opening up our hips. Stacking those shoulders just like we did previously. Just like we did previously in triangle pose. Get a hand on the leg, or I've got the block right there. And then moving into right angle pose from here. So simply putting a bend in that right knee, getting a little bit deeper right here. Good. All right. Now, we're gonna come all the way down to the ground. Runner's lunge. Back leg's gonna stay up. Back leg's gonna stay up. So now we're squaring up hips and shoulders back to the ground, hands to the instep of that right foot. I'm gonna face you so you can see that. Awesome. Good. Now, if you want, you can set that back knee down, but we're going to be back off it in just a little bit. Okay, so with that right hand now, let's reach it up toward the sky, twisted low lunge. Reach nice and high. All right, stack into those shoulders. Watch that that right knee doesn't open up. It wants to open up. Scissor those legs together. Bring that right knee toward your heart center just a little bit more. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn back to the side now from this twisted low lunge, facing away from you for just a moment. From here, I'm going to set the hands down, go to three-legged dog. So set both hands down, right leg goes up toward the sky, three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, coming back to plank, tapping the ankles together, shoulders over hands, exhale. Inhale, that right heel up toward the sky, and do that 4 more times. Single leg to plank. Okay, just floating that leg up. Awesome. Bring it up and tap those ankles. Looking good. Looking good. All right. One last time, float it up and then bring that right foot through back to runner's lunge and float that left foot off the ground, 3-point balance. Stay right there in 3-point balance. And now, let's reverse that again. Set that left leg down, runner's lunge, float to that right heel up, single leg, down dog or three-legged dog. And let's do that again. Go to runner's lunge, 3-point balance, and go back to runner's lunge and three-legged dog. And just flow through that 4 more times. Runners to 3 points, runners to three-legged dog. All right. Getting our legs working this morning. Good. Total of 5 right there. When you found that total of 5, we can find three-legged dog and settle in, or a 3-point balance. Good. All right, so 3-point balance, left leg up off the ground. From here, let's go right to half moon. Either right hand stays on the ground or onto the block, and then left hand floats to the sky. Whew, all right. Very nicely done. So stacking our shoulders and our ribs, just like we did in triangle pose. Okay. Getting our hips involved and pointing our left toes in the direction our heart and belly are going. From here, we're going to go to twisted half moon. Keep that left leg up off the ground. Bring that left hand down, square up those hips and shoulders, either to the ground, left hand on the ground, right hand up toward the sky. Good. Whew. All right. Looking good. Looking strong. Okay. As we exhale, both hands down, that left foot stays up off the ground for just a moment. All right. And then set that left foot down back to runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, we're going to come all the way up to a knee lift, left knee up toward the sky. So stand tall. Stand tall, left knee up. I'm going to face you now. We're going to alternate between standing pigeon. So bringing those left toes toward the shins, left ankle above that right knee. Come out of it and lean in, runner's balance. Okay, keeping that left foot off the ground, just lean in like we're doing slow motion running. And just alternate between pigeon and runners. We'll do 2 more, and then we'll hold those positions. So that next time you find runners, hold that position. Freeze frame, hit the pause button on your Betamax. That's right. And then next time we come into pigeon, we hold. Good. We'll stretch through those hips. Breathe. All right. To come out of this, let's come back to that runner's balance and then set that left foot down to runners. Lunge, hands down, press back to plank. Shake that right leg out. Let's go through a vinyasa flow. We got the other side to do. Let's go. All right. Well, vinyasa flow, rock forward, protect those shoulders. Come on down, lift up and press back to downward facing dog. Awesome. This time, left heel floats up nice and high. 3-legged dog. Bring it through. Warrior 1. Both feet on the ground. Excellent. From that Warrior 1, go ahead and lengthen that front leg. And that lengthen of that leg will allow us to square up hips and shoulders for a wide leg pyramid or hamstring stretch. Keep the length, crown of our head to our tailbone. Stay nice and strong up top. And either use the block, the leg, or the floor to stabilize. Dropping the crown of your head, rounding through your spine, and breathing through. Settle in for at least 3 more breaths, and then we'll move on. Good. 1 more inhale and exhale. Then we're going to find that triangle pose. So that right foot is at a 45-degree angle. We're going to make it more of a 90-degree angle and then open up our hearts and hips to the right side. Good. Triangle pose. Good. Nice long leg, soft bend in that left knee. And from here, we're going to put a bend in that knee, finding right angle pose. Deep right angle pose. Good. All right. From here, we're going to come all the way down, square up hips and shoulders. Let's find that runner's lunge. Back knee up or down. Again, just momentarily, we're going to spend some time here. So let me come and face you on this one. From runner's lunge, hands to the instep. Again, back knee up or down. And let's start floating that left hand up toward the sky as we stack our shoulders one atop the other. Left knee staying toward the heart. Scissor those legs, twisted low lunge. I'm going to turn back to the side, hang out in twisted low lunge while I get there. Just for a moment, I promise. Good. And then bring both hands down back to runner's lunge. And we're going to go into that single leg or 3-legged dog. So that left heel floats up nice and high into the sky. And then rock forward back to a plank position. Good. Let's do that again 4 more times. Inhale. Left heel up. Exhale. Plank. Good. 3 more. Using your breath to guide the way. Use that breath to guide the way. All right. And on that last one, then, we're going to sweep that left leg through, bring it back to runner's lunge, lengthen as we float that right heel up, 3-point balance. Just for a moment right there. And then we're going to reverse that. Go for a 3-point balance to 3-legged dog. Float that left heel up, bring it through runner's balance, or runner's lunge, and then on to 3-point balance. Now let's do that 4 more times. Runners to 3-legged, Runners to 3-point. Balance, good. All right. Working our lower body today. Working our core. Every time we're swinging that leg through, every time we're bringing it through, setting it down with control, we're encouraging our core to get a little stronger. When you're done with your total of 5, let's find that 3-point balance, and let's move on to half moon. Left hand onto the ground or block, right hand up toward the sky, stack to the shoulders and ribs and hips. Pointing your right toes, dorsiflexion, towards the right side. It's a straight line, crown of the head to the heel. Straight line, fingertip to fingertip, in opposite directions. Let's find that twisted half. Keep that right leg up off the ground. Right hand comes on down, block or floor. Left hand floats to the hip or sky. All right. Being in control of our breath and how we move our body. Not forcing anything to happen. Exhale that left hand down. Let's find runner's lunge, left foot forward. Now, from here, we're going to stand tall. Right knee's going to come up. So bring it on up, a little balance. Whoop. All right. Good. And then we're going to alternate between standing balance pigeon and runner's balance. Good. Right toes toward the shin as we bring that right ankle above that left knee. Nice. 2 more. 2 more moving. Right. And then next time we find runner's balance, hold that position, freeze frame, freeze frame. Hit pause on your Sony Walkman, the sport version, the yellow one with the clip, the waterproof version, with those funky headphones. That's right. Good. Now let's find standing balance pigeon. Ankle above that left knee, sit back into it. All right, let's exhale, set both feet down to the ground, shake those legs out. Shake those legs out. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna come all the way down onto the ground now. We're gonna lay down onto our right side. Gonna lay on our right hip, right knee's gonna be bent initially, and we can be on the right elbow supporting our head with our hand, or if you want, you can just lay all the way down. You can lay all the way down. Good. So, pose called Vishnu's pose. Vishnu's pose, a little sequence based off this. So if you want a little bit less balance, keep that right knee bent and out forward. If you want to challenge your core and balance a little bit more, get that knee in line with your hip and your shoulder. Get it completely underneath. Okay? All right. With our peace fingers or our hands, we're going to grab on to our left leg, or peace fingers onto our toe, and try and bring that toe toward the crown of our head. Hamstring stretch. So focus on just lengthening those muscles on the back side of our left leg. Get a little bit more balance with that long right leg. You'll feel that just wobbliness. Or if you want to take that completely out, just bend that right leg and focus on the hamstring stretch here. Okay. Good gentle stretch on the hamstrings, just allowing that leg to just exhale and move. All right. And from here, we're going to add a twist, a little twist. So that left leg is going to drop towards the right side. So we're going to take that right hand from underneath our head or underneath ourselves, and we're going to hold on to that leg and set it down. Good. So as we do that and set that leg down, then sit back, set that left arm down, then look at that left hand the opposite direction our right leg's going. I'm sorry, our left leg's going. So a little twist and a stretch into our lower back. Now if you want to play around a little bit more and make some adjustments, you can use that right hand to move that left leg around. You can also lengthen that right leg underneath. So you feel a little bit more of that rotation and twist. Of course, we're not trying to jam into this, just trying to breathe and find a nice gentle stretch into our lower back and hips. Okay. All right. From here, we're going to still stay on this side. We're just going to put a bend in that left knee, grabbing onto our ankle or top of that foot for a quad stretch. Okay, bottom knee can be bent or still straight. But we're drawing our left heel to our glute. And then pressing our hips forward. So in other words, think of a straight line from your shoulder to your hip down to your knee on the left side. Good, stretch right through those hips, those hip flexor complex and muscles, even across the top of our kneecap here. Okay. Gently release. There we are. Same thing other side. So you can just turn over. I'm going to flip over. All right, so laying on my left side now. Left hand supporting the head or just laying down my left ear, left ear and my arm. Okay. All right, right foot up toward the sky, toes toward the crown of my head, peace fingers on that right hand, either locking on to that big toe or you can grab onto the wrist or behind the leg. Okay? Again, bottom knee bent or straight. Find that spot that gives you the best chance at a good stretch. We're not trying to bring the toes down to the face. We're not trying to connect anything there. We're just trying to lengthen that leg and let those toes float beyond the crown of our head, if you will. All right. Now we're going to go into that twist. So that left hand is just going to be that safekeeping for that right leg as it comes down. Just let it set down and then set both shoulders down, reaching that right hand back and looking back at that right hand in the opposite direction that your right leg's going. And just breathe. Allowing the exhales to soften. Allowing the exhales to help you sink in to this twist. Sink in to this stretch. Few more breaths. And then we'll find that quad stretch on this side. So coming back with our left hand onto our left side, right hand across the top of the foot or ankle, and then draw the right heel to the glute, hips driving forward. Again, maybe a straight line then from the knee to the hip to the shoulder. Good. And then we'll gently release. We're going to come onto our backs. I'm going to float all the way around so you can see this. Okay. So onto our backs, knees bent. And we're going to start with just a supinated version of the pigeon. On our back version of the pigeon, right ankle above that left knee. Okay, right toes toward the shins, keeps that knee into place, and then just drop that leg forward. Take those hands and shoot that figure four gap. Okay, grabbing behind that left knee. You can also grab in front of that left knee and draw that left knee now towards the crown of your head. Okay, we're not trying to crunch down towards our bellies with our legs. We're trying to just bring the knee towards the crown of the head so that we're lengthening through the hip and into our glutes and lower back. Perhaps a little more gentle version of pigeon than putting our body weight on top of our leg. Everybody has their preference, and each one has just a little bit different feel. We're going to reach in even deeper now to our hips. So as we release our hands, keep those legs right there in that figure four. And now cross that right knee all the way over, cross those legs like we're sitting down, relaxing on the couch, stacking those knees. We're going to move towards happy cow. So we're going to then take both hands and grab onto the outside of our ankles and then draw our knees toward our heart. So squeeze those knees down towards your heart. With our knees stacked in a happy cow, then you'll feel a deeper stretch into that glutes and hips on the leg that's on top, closest to your heart. Nice. Exhale and release. Let's do that figure four on the other side. So that left ankle above that right knee. Toes toward the shin on that left side, just to lock that knee into place. Shoot the gap with the hands in front or behind that right knee, and that right knee towards the crown of our head. Okay. Couple more breaths right here. Get that hip working and stretching. Good. And then as we release, let's cross those legs over each other and find happy cow. Grabbing those hands on the outside of both ankles and then drawing your knees towards your sternum, your heart center. And now reaching even deeper in to that left hip and deep glute muscles. All right. Gently release, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Now we're going to do a couple variations of pigeon and or wheel. Okay, I'll try and guide us through wheel, but just be careful with wheel. Feet, knees about hip distance apart. Hands to the side initially, let's do bridge. And as we lift our hips up, just hold those hips up. And a really nice technique with bridge, if you want to hold for an extended period of time, is to take that block and just set it right underneath your tailbone, however high it feels good for you, and just settle in. Okay, just settle in. That's totally, if you want to just practice that and play around with that, it certainly is an option. Exhale and release down. Okay, we're going to do that again, or if you want to try wheel, we can bring our hands, so we're going to do a little cockeyed hands here, where your fingertips are pointing right towards the tops of your shoulders, elbows up toward the sky. So either bridge, lifting those hips up, or with the wheel, we're going to lift those hips up. Okay, then we're going to lift our shoulders up and then press through those hands and lengthen our heart and our hips. And as you come down, please come down very slow and in control of that wheel. And exhale and release. Whew. All right. I don't know if we've ever done that one in class formally. Goodness, let's do it online. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Okay, all right. Let's just alternate knee pulls to chest. Okay, knee pulls to chest. Make it almost a little bit of a core move, either tapping the heels down or floating those heels off the ground. Not only the benefit of a stretch through the glutes and hips, but also a little core. Good. And then lengthen both legs out, a little bit more core here, a little flutter kick, hands directly underneath the hips, palms down onto the ground, And just begin fluttering those feet, chin off our chest, neutral spine looking up at the sky. Awesome. And keep going for 3 and 2 and done. Release those feet down to the ground. Now, if you don't have a block, keep those hands right there, and you can do legs up the wall, supporting those hips. Or if you have a block, replace those hands with that block and do that. And we also can go to shoulder stand or plow. Okay, so from here, we can float those feet up, support our back, our lower back with our hands, right where our kidneys are. Those elbows blocked into the ground like a tripod. And either feet straight up and down. Really nice inversion. There's shoulder stand. If you're doing shoulder stand, make sure you just look straight up and down. Don't look side to side, please. Okay, protect your neck. Okay, try to just be aware of the angle on your neck. It should feel comfortable. And if you want to go to plow, without deepening the angle on your neck, float those feet past the crown of your head, and just think of it more as a hamstring stretch and glute stretch versus trying to jam our feet down to the ground. And that will preserve that angle on your neck. All right. Whenever you're ready to come out of any of these, especially shoulder stand, come out very slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. Squeeze those abs, slow and controlled. All right. And out of any one of these, let's move towards final relaxation, Shavasana. Just sprawling out on the ground, on our mats, and find that really comfortable spot for us. I'm going to dim the lights and continue to get us prepared for Shavasana. Final relaxation song is a song called Faded. Faded, about the third from the bottom, I think. And as we find this most comfortable position on our mats, relax, release, allow yourself to just fall into the floor and the ground and the mat beneath you. Allow yourself to release any tension that you still might be holding on to. Just breathe in and exhale and release that tension. Allow your eyelids to rest gently on your eyes. The face to get rid of any facial expressions whatsoever as your jaw relaxes, your neck relaxes, your shoulders relax, your arms feel heavy beside your body, your elbows and forearms are released and relaxed and just pressing in. And you release any tension in your hands. Palms are open, up or down, and no tension in those fingers. And then try to release any tension through those glutes in the back of your legs and your calves. Soften those ankles, let those feet just drape open to a natural position. No tension in our arches, our toes are not curled. We're relaxed from the crown of our head to the tips of our toes. Natural everyday breath. So we just allow ourselves to find stillness now of our bodies. And as we find that stillness, it allows our mind and body to both interact with our practice from today. Tune in right now to how you feel. Tune in right now to how you're thinking. What's the thoughts on your mind right now? And what's the feelings on your physical body right now? I'm so grateful for this time that we get to share together. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that we share when we invest time in each other through this practice. We show that it means something to us. It's meaningful. It provides value. It teaches us. And we invest in each other through this time, investing in each other's care and each other's well-being. And that is as benevolent as it gets. Our closing message: life and time are the world's best teachers. Life teaches us the use of time, and time teaches us the value of life. I honor the love and light in each of you, as it's also within me. Namaste.